Alright guys, well, I had to start it over, so I'm going to have to go down on the computer and rematch this up here. But what I got over here, I got a napkin, and I'm just dabbing the white paint on the napkin, getting it really, really, really wet. And I'm using the Walmart for this time because I really don't, because this facility is new here, and the Shelford rail is really not that old. It's really not going to be a lot of weathering, you know, that dark for the pipe. But I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a black on it right now. And this is what I call the wet technique. I'm pretty much getting this whole thing wet right here. If you can see that, and just keep pulling the water, you know, that's dripping down. Just pull it up and get it all nice and wet. Then I'll get a little dab of black here. Wet it again. Not too much. Dab your paintbrush off. And just hit it like that. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's just running like it would naturally with the rain. And if I want to make it a little bit darker, see how that's doing? And if I want to lighten it up, which I do, I don't want it that dark, just dip your brush back in the paint thing. And there you go. And of course, when this dries, it's not going to be as dark too. So I just wanted to take some of the brightness out of it. But pretty simple, real easy. Let me go here and get on this side here. Dip it in the brush. Yes, it's a walk around affair. So, but let me get this side right quick. Yeah. Like I said, I really wasn't wanting to go too dark with it. Just something to cut that real bright white, because it snows a lot up in Colorado, especially this part of the country. In case you didn't know, the town where I have my fictitious railroad is the same town that I used in my novel Prey. It's called Shelford Rail, and but yeah, that looks a lot better, I think. Yep. Then you can come back again, you know, and darken it up a little bit. And of course, I'm going to take a little bit smaller brush here and just go pretty heavy with the black and just do the inside, because the inside's going to be straight black. No white on that. So when you're walking around the layout looking at it, it's like, oh, there's black in there, which it should be. But pretty simple. Oh, it's real simple. Everybody's done this before, but just want to show you a couple of things with it. But hopefully this will get somebody brave enough to try it, because everybody's usually pretty afraid of trying to ink stuff and ink wash stuff. But it just takes practice like anything else. And I'm just going over these big spots, toning this down, because see, the water is already black, has a black tint to it, so just cutting this real bright white stuff down a little bit. And it doesn't matter if it's going to get on the ladders, because the ladder is going to be a little bit dirty too anyway, so. But yeah, that, I don't know, well, you really can't see it. Let me move the tripod here just a sec. If you can see down here, there we go, along this crease right here, right there where the white meets up, the water is automatically pooling in that crease, which is what we want, because that's where it would be naturally, in the grand scheme of things. And you can go a little bit darker with the wash, dirty it up, like maybe they had to do some work or something, who knows. But I know it's in a micro or over the top type thing, but I'm having to do the best I can with what I got. So I don't know if you can really see that, but it has toned it down a pretty good shot. And I'm gonna try and get another video of some trains running today. And let's see. All right, hang on, guys. All right, guys, there we go. A little bit different angle. I'm gonna go ahead and be doing this part in here. Now for this, I'm gonna be using the Games Workshop. If you can read that, black ink. Now at this step, if you ever run across this stuff, they're in the hobby stores. Any halfway decent hobby store that has miniature wargaming, they're gonna have some Games Workshop paints because they're about pretty much the leader in the hobby paints. And now be aware, if you pick this up, this stuff is very unforgiving. So you kind of have to work it in layers and work light and then get dark with it. Because if you go real heavy with it, it's just it's very unforgiving. So there's your warning. But anyway, hang on, let me get this set up, and then we'll get busy with it, and I'll show you what I mean, and hopefully. And this is the bolt gunmetal paint that was used, the same brand. So this is like formulated, to work really well with this. So you're going to see this start to pop out and get some real cool effects with it, like up in here and down in here, hopefully as well. But anyway, let me get this set up. Pop that top and. Alright, here we go. We're going to do the bottom. I'm just going to do a line across here like that. Now get back down the paint a little bit. Alright, here we go. This is going to be a pretty heavy wash right here. See what I mean? Got to get that off there. We'll get down in here. See what I mean by dark? It's very, very, very dark. But that's okay. We can make it run. We can make it run. That's about the only way you're going to get it to run right. To loosen it up. We'll get that off there. Put that over there. Do a little dab of Rooney. And all my UK subscribers, you should probably be pretty familiar with Games Workshop. It's based out of the UK and all that stuff. They're pretty wild, and they've been around for a long time. They do the Warhammer 40K and the Warhammer Fantasy game stuff. Get them legs nice and dirty looking. And see it pooling? That's okay, because it will dry. I'm going to go ahead and get these fence posts out here on the front. I'm going to go ahead and dry my brush a little bit, and then I'm going to pick some of this up. And dry the brush off a little bit. And pick some more of it up. And pick this up. And pick that up. I don't know how good the camera's getting all this, but hopefully it's getting it pretty good. And let's go a little bit darker with it. Got some over here I gotta pick up. Pick up. Pick up. Yeah, before I got back into model railroading, that's what I did. I painted the little metal miniatures and stuff like that. So these are like some of the techniques. And I think probably the biggest help I can probably be to you guys is on the scenery wise stuff. I got some tricks for dry brushing and stuff like that I want to show you guys, but I haven't got there to the scenery part yet of my layout to show you. So anyway, darken this down just a little bit more. You can see, lift this up, just the wet on wet, just letting gravity and the water do its thing. If you can see that, what's happening. Hopefully you can. But more stuff to pick up. Just dab it off on the old paper towel. Like I said, this will dry. Little bitty spots you have in it and stuff like that, it will dry, so don't be too discouraged with that. Like I said, just take some practice. You know, if you got an old airplane or something model around, you know, try it on that. You know, try it on that with first. Alright. And how long are we at now? Ooh, 12 minutes. This is probably going to be a long video. But anyway, I'm going to just lightly hit the top of these and these around here so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Let me see if I can show you. I'm using a pretty good brush, pretty good size brush. As you can see by my fingers how big it is. Just dip it down in there. See, that's got a lot of paint on it. I'm dip it over here in my water all the way down in there. This thing's just like soaked with water. And here we go. Really easy. Give it a little grime, even though it hadn't been out there that long. We'll make it a little bit weathered. It snows a lot of wind. And who knows where this company got this equipment from, so that's just what we'll say. Because it's so dark in some areas. But swap hands here and just do some more. Like I said, don't get discouraged once you see these black bubbles on it, you know, because they're going to dry. They're not going to dry like that, what you see there. So you really don't have to be that afraid. I hope you can see what's happening here. I'm having to work upstairs because it's a mighty chilly 34 degrees today here. And I don't have heat downstairs except a old portable heater, and I just did not feel like fighting with that this morning. I think I'd rather be comfortable showing you guys this than being miserable and trying to hurry through this. But there you go. The top's pretty much done. Just and you can always, you know, if it's not drying, it's got some of those watermarks. You just just have to move this, you know, if you're working somewhere else in the house other than your usual spot, you can just take a napkin and dab this off. But hopefully you can see the difference in this. See how these white napkins will help at all. The difference between the top and the, now maybe this top, the front part here, I'm going to go real light on that. This here in the front. This over all the pipes in the fronts. And remember, I have to come back and do all the valves and stuff. But grimy up that tank there. Compressor tank for something, who knows. And then over here, you know, I've got a pretty wet thing over here on my napkin. You can just dig down in there and go back where you put the ink, dip it in some water, and you can see whenever you dab your brush about the tone or the value that the water is going to have. You can see that where I'm dipping it in there. You can put it on there, and it's going to be just about that tone when you put it on. So, but like I said, you know, guys, this is just this is a real quick weathering job. You know, it's really easy, you know, to give it, you know, that aged look and stuff. And stuff like that. You know, real easy. And don't be afraid. Like I said, if you're afraid, if you got an old model airplane or something, or go buy one at the dollar store. They've got them. You can sometimes find them at the dollar store for $1. You know, just get you some, paint a regular color. You know, just paint it some color and then just experiment with it. This is what you got to do. But I gotta get in there now. Open this back up. And just get after it. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do the base here. If I'm going to cover it up with rocks, which I think I am, because there's a couple of plants down here, or well, down by Baton Rouge, one of the Exxon plants, where I had to go get some schooling and stuff when I worked at the plastics plant down in Kentwood. That they had theirs just done over with rocks, and I might try the white rocks on it and see how it goes and stuff. But we'll see. But anyway, that's good enough for me. Like I said, this plant is fairly new, so I don't want to get it, you know, like it's dilapidated and getting ready to fold. But I don't want it all nice and bright and shiny and new, because it is a couple of years old. Like that. Let's tone this white down some. There's those water droplets. Don't be afraid of it. It'll dry. It's gonna dry real good. So, but if you don't like it, like I said, get the paper towel. Just kind of shape the paper towel where you want to get it in there too, like so, and just shoop. pick it up somewhat. And look at here, I'm weathering with the paper towel. Just getting it, kind of just doing it in a little bit. Kind of rubbing it on in there. This top a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but this has been toned down a lot just by me monkeying around with it just like that. Now there's another thing I'm going to show you guys too. I'm getting ready to start detailing some locomotives, and I wish I could take the credit and say I found these, but I found these from a website from a guy who does engines. I can't remember his name right off the bat. I think Milano, I think's his name, and he's got an awesome train layout. I can't remember his YouTube channel, but he stays busy. I think that's what he does full time. But see, I'm wiping some of that off the top just to get some of that to show you. I'm trying to show you as much as I can, as quick as I can, without having to edit this down. There'll probably be 2 parts because my computer is down at the moment downstairs. It's unhooked and everything. But that was that side. I'm going to go ahead and work on this. I don't think you want to see me do that this side. You already saw the other side. But I'll be right back, guys. Hang on. I figured I'd show you a little bit of it. I went ahead and up the top of the white tower again. Make it a little bit. Ah! Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you bump the camera. Not good. Pull this up a little bit. There we go. I think you didn't want to see this, but I'm showing you anyway. Pick some of that up. Dab it off. And stuff like that. I don't know if you can see it, but that white has been toned down a lot now off the tower. And now the fun part, doing all the little bitty hang on, guys, I gotta spin this around here. Be right back. Alright. I'm just going to be using the straight yellow, and this shouldn't take too long, and I'm going to be using a pretty small brush. I don't know if you can see that. This is a Games Workshop, one of their brushes. And if you have the fine tip brushes, they usually come with these plastic things, and I can't stress enough to keep these and keep these on your brushes, because they'll keep your points on your brushes real nice and sharp. But this is, I don't know if you can tell, that's a pretty fine tip. I don't know if it'll focus in on that or not. Yeah, it's pretty fine. But we're going to do the yellow first here. And we'll do this one right over here. And, of course, too much water on my brush. Dip that off. And that's the bottom. There's another bottom, and I need to get that one because that's the next one in line with it right there. So I'll come down here and do this one. Well, as you can tell, I'm going to have lots of fun doing my ladders on my plastics plant. But I've got a little cheat to get around that, so it's not going to be that bad. I figure they've got these color-coded. Or something. Let's see. Alright, there's one other yellow one over here. On this end right here. It's definitely different having to allow room for the camera. I wish I could show you guys some of the miniatures I painted, but I sold my last one about 2 weeks ago. That was also used to help fund the railroad project. But there we go. The yellow ones are painted now on this outside. Look at that top there. That's the one that had the yellow on it. Another tip, if you're using the fine tip brush, you want to pull and turn to get all the paint off. Pull and turn your brush, if you can see me doing that. That way it keeps your point. We're going to try with the red this time. Red up top. Oh, and that was way too much. Way too much paint. Anyway, I figure I'd have one little blooper here. You know, you're probably not even going to notice this on the layout unless you get like real nitpicky. But at least I will know that it's done. One up top, and that one's down below, so just one red emergency valve. Well, we'll put one right here by this little generator type deal thingy. And you know, usually if you want your red nice and bright, and your yellows that you'd want to undercoat this with white first, but I didn't really want this sticking out all that much on it. Hopefully you can see the red. It's kind of hard. I apologize for the lighting, but I got all the windows and stuff open. It's just the camera's just really not wanting to pick it up all that good. But down there's a red, and you can see the yellows. And a yellow there on the end. And that was all for the red. You know, those little bitty fine things. I'm going to do blue for the next one. Hopefully. Yep. This blue looks pretty good. I need to be putting my hand in the blue paint, so go down here for blue on the bottom. And okay, there's one more right up here. Okay, good. And there's some more on the other side too. Have to get, but let me see if I can move this around so you can see the different colors. I know it's going to be hard to see. I tell you what, let me see if I can remember. Fine tip brush, twist and pull, twist and pull. Let me see if I can move this around here, guys, and get just a little bit better light for you guys. And like I said, this is just a real quick weathering job. You know, just easy peasy type stuff. Let me see, I may be able to do it this way. Let me pick up here and see. Hang on. Let's see if I can get it. Let's do it like this. And you can see the valves are painted on there a little bit better. And let's see. Let's get into some natural light here.